Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MVCI roster discussion. You're here with your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with Colin, our host for tonight, as we discuss the MVCI roster. He also is hosting us in his fabulous abode alongside Bangzel, Bangzel, video game guru.
Fighting game guru.
It was fighting game guru. You're right.
You wouldn't extend it to all games?
No.
You're not Yugi. You're not king of games.
All trades, unfortunately.
By the way, this stream started with one like. I don't know how that's possible. There's no one here. There's
Somebody
no.
already likes it, dude.
Alright. So, we've all basically came to the conclusion that the actual gameplay behind MVCI is really solid. It's just everything else about it is very subpar and brings down the overall experience. It's kind of the antithesis to all that matters is gameplay. So, with that in mind, and ignoring all other factors except the roster itself, we are going to look at the roster, decide what parts we would take out, and who we would want to put in.
Oh, Nerd Tinker asks, what is MCVI?
MVCI is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So that is the most recent incarnation of the Marvel series. The Marvel vs. Capcom series, which has officially, according to Marvel, had, the original X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, MVC 1, 2, 3, and Infinite, so this is the 8th game in the series.
He also said, oh, Magic the Gathering. I want to join. Lol.
Lol.
Secondary topic. Alright, so a few rules. So, it has recently come to my attention that they could not have put any Fox characters in. Not because they didn't want to, but because they could not. And I wish they would have said that when they were, revealing roster, because then I wouldn't feel so salty about it. I would have been like, okay, that sucks, but you couldn't have done anything about it. I understand. So, with that in mind, we've got a few rules here. The launch roster and the 6 DLC characters that we are aware of total up the roster to 36. So we will not go over 36 in this roster. We may discuss DLC afterwards. We cannot include any X-Men characters or any Fox characters. And we must have an even split of Capcom and Marvel characters. So what I think we're going to do to make this quick is we're going to say every character, and all 3 of us are going to vote and say stay or go.
Okay.
It's going to be the quickest way to go about it. And we each get 1 override. So if 2 of us say no, that third one can go 1 time. Yes, I think they should stay in, and it's permanent.
Okay,
Somebody's at the door. I think it's CJ.
Vanessa Brooks says hi. Nerd Tanker says any Capcom game. So I guess he's wondering when we're going to vote characters in. Can we vote from any Capcom property?
Oh, yeah.
See why not.
And if the people in the stream want to get involved, they're welcome to. Hey, CJ.
Good to see you, CJ.
So we're going to start off voting out the roster. So we've actually got the Marvel vs. Capcom roster as shown in the game right here on this sheet. And we're just going to go from the top left to the right and down at the same time.
Nerd Tinker said Leon Kennedy. We're not at the part where we're voting in people. Right now we're seeing who stays and who goes.
Yeah, Leon Kennedy would probably make it in anyways, but let's see. Strider.
I think he's a stay.
Alright.
He's in a very unique spot as far as the game he's representing, since he is the only Strider. Is that the name of the game series?
Yes.
He is the only Strider character who's shown up in the games.
He's also one of, I think only 2 characters named in the Strider universe.
And
the
he
other
has-
one is Grandmaster Mayo, and he actually is in this game. He's just not playable.
And he has a very unique fighting style that I think a lot of people enjoyed when he came out in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Alright, and I can agree with that.
I'll
DJ?
also vote to stay.
Alright.
Nerd Tinker said, I'm going to make my own team. That's interesting.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Arthur, I'm going to go ahead and say no.
What do you think, Judd?
It's one of those things where it's like, if we had to have some representation from his game, and you had to pick between, Arthur or Firebrand, who would you choose? I think with my playstyle, I would prefer Arthur over Firebrand, which means if I voted yes for Arthur, I'd vote no for Firebrand.
But who would represent a game if not the main character of the game, right?
Yeah.
So Arthur would be the natural choice, I would say.
But then you also have to consider that they didn't actually have Iron Man in an MVC game until MVC 2, but War Machine had been in there far longer. He had been in since Marvel Superheroes, and he's not even the main character of the Iron Man franchise.
Well,
You also have to think of the times.
Yeah.
There was a period where War Machine was the main Iron Man. Also,
Really?
thank you for smashing that like button again. We have 2 likes. Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. You learned something.
indeed.
So he's kind of taking a backseat now. Okay.
I would also say that personally, I feel that ghouls and goblins, or goblins and ghouls, I'm not sure which comes first in the title. I think
Ghosts and Goblins.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Damn.
Not even close. I don't think that's as much of a well-known series over here in America. So I was honestly just questionable about Arthur's existence in the original MVC3. I'm not sure if I would prefer any of them to be
I'll pick that up in a minute.
in the game.
It was just a moment.
That's fine.
It's also got a
But yeah, I mean, I think that Arthur's fine as he is. There aren't a lot of characters who has his wide array of projectile-based attacks. I think he's a fine character from a mechanical standpoint.
Even if Ghouls and Ghosts is not that
Very popular, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nerd Tanker said, I think I know more Marvel than Capcom. I'm with you, Nerd Tanker. I feel like on the Marvel side, I'll have a lot more to say.
All right, and Frank West.
No, leave.
A week ago, I would have agreed with you, but I've now played Frank West, and I like him mechanically. But at the same time, I don't like Frank West, so I'm actually going to vote no here, because I'd much rather have another character that I like mechanically and like as a character.
Oh.
So unless you just want to waste your override on Frank freaking West, it looks like Frank's gone.
I think I'll probably vote Frank West out too. I feel like his gameplay may be unique, but I wouldn't know because I never play him. Also, Nerd Tanker said I said Capcom, not Marvel. So Nerd Tanker actually knows more Capcom than Marvel. That's interesting.
Did you read what he said and just read it backwards?
I read it through the lens of myself, so I changed his opinion.
Sorry, Nerd Tanker. Okay, so Frank West is gone.
Okay.
So, now we're going to go to the Marvel side for a moment. Rocket Raccoon. I'm going to say no.
I also say no.
I also say no.
If anybody from Guardians of the Galaxy would be in the game, it should be Star-Lord, obviously.
And Gamora is actually fun to play, and I'm glad
Oh,
to
I
see
actually
her.
really like Gamora, yeah.
And I would have preferred to have, what was his name? Why is his name escaping?
Drax.
Drax, yes.
Or I
would
would
much
say,
prefer
if you
Drax.
are going to include somebody from that franchise, put all of the Guardians of the Galaxy in. I mean, there are only 4 of them, right?
No,
Not,
there's
I mean,
5.
Groot doesn't really exist. He's a fucking retard.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, he's not retarded. I'm sorry, stream. Groot's not retarded. Please don't flame me.
So, if I were to say, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy is popular now, how are we going to do this? I would have said, let's put Star-Lord in, and all of his attacks would involve the other members in some way. Because I mean,
like
that's already,
Pokemon Trainer?
yeah,
Something like that.
he'd still be the main fighter, and he wouldn't switch out and play as Drax for a moment. But it'd be like with what Rocket Raccoon does with Groot already, just more characters.
I think
Because I mean, Chris Pratt is one of my favorite actors of all time, and even if by proxy he's in the game, I would have been much happier.
I think the game could have capitalized on the wild success of the Guardians of the Galaxy film if they
That
put
too.
all of the characters from the movies into the game.
Especially considering the 5 of them would have made up a huge chunk of what got cut out of X-Men.
Because brand recognition is what sells games these days, and if people see all of their favorite fucking
Guardians.
big blockbuster movie people on the, I guess that's
So in other words, Rocket's gone.
Yeah. Also, I think Yondu would have been really cool with his whistle needle thing as a character.
Just call me Mary Poppins. So
He needs a Mary Poppins skin. See, they could have done it.
and Disney's involved, so they could have. So let's see. Doctor Strange. Once again, I'm going to let my movie bias override because
you didn't even see the movie. You can't even say that.
I don't care. I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch.
You can't hold a character against a person who plays him in the movie.
You better tell my dad that.
I don't like Doctor Strange either, and I don't like.
You don't like Doctor Strange? He's one of the best Marvel characters out there.
I think Dormammu does what he does better.
Sorcerer Supreme. You need the good and the evil together. You can't just have the bad guy. I mean, Super
Well, I mean, we just did the argument for Arthur where we were like, you could just have one.
Yeah, and then there's like the whole not one member of the Fantastic Four,
but Super Skrull,
and Doctor Doom.
Well,
yeah,
Super Skrull is kind of like all of them put together.
Yeah,
it's fair enough to just have Super Skrull.
Okay, but so I mean, even me, it's only one no. So if you two say yes, my no is.
I like Doctor Strange. I feel that in highly competitive hands, he is a very interesting and unique zoner. So I would say yes, just because he's something the game needs on a mechanical level.
I'd probably say yes, I want Doctor Strange, but I want him to play like Dormammu. I don't want him to play the way he does.
If he played like Dormammu, why would we have Dormammu?
I would have dropped Dormammu. That's my argument.
But you don't even play Dormammu.
No.
You'd rather, if Doctor Strange had Dormammu's kit, you would just have Dormammu gone.
Yeah, the reason why is because it seems like Dormammu actually is like casting, and you have to prepare your spells and shit, and it feels more like a spellcaster character.
Just like
you quarter circle and shit. Yeah, and he doesn't feel like he's a casting character. Okay. But that's what I'd want from him.
I understand that sentiment.
So I don't know how I vote. Do I vote no on Strange and keep Dormammu because Dormammu's the way he should play? Or do I say yes, Strange, no Dormammu, but I want Strange to be Dormammu?
Yes, Strange with a better set of skills.
You can do that. You can say yes on the grounds that he has a better kit.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm probably going to vote no on Dormammu, though.
Alright, so we put a little dot in the top right here to say if he had a better kit. Mm-hmm. Alright, Hawkeye. I played Hawkeye like at the very week before MVCI came out when we were playing Marvel 3. And I was like, holy shit, he's actually really good. I like this character. And then I started playing him and I stopped liking him for some reason. So I'm going to say no.
I think Hawkeye is exactly what, like, the principle of what I just mentioned for why we should have the Guardians of the Galaxy. Hawkeye now has the appearance of his MCU
Except he's blonde. Well, he's like a lot brighter blonde.
Yeah, so people see him and they think, oh, this is the guy from the Avengers movies. And, you know, that's part of a selling point. That could be what made or breaks, or what makes or breaks some people's decision of what they want to buy the game is, oh, shit, Hawkeye's in there, of course, you know? Some people really like Hawkeye, because I know on, like, a meta scale, Hawkeye's a really well-liked character in Marvel, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, would you...
Oh, wait, you're asking my opinion?
Yeah.
Fuck Hawkeye. Please get Hawkeye out of this game.
From the standpoint of somebody who's a comic book fan, would you say Hawkeye has a fan following that's somewhat substantial?
People who read Hawkeye books like Hawkeye books. How many people read Hawkeye books? Get the fuck out of here, please. Please
no
get
from you.
No from me.
We're trying to
Hawkeye's such a... He's just not popular. Like, the people who like him, I hear he does a lot of good things in his book. I hear his books are great.
Oh, feel like he's done some really badass stuff. Like, he ripped off his own fingernails and used them like arrowheads. That's really sick.
That's pretty metal.
That is really sick.
And as a metalhead, I can say that's metal.
Yeah, like it's like actually sick.
But
I feel.
But he's taken up a slot, and if I can get rid of him and put it, if I was at Marvel or Capcom and I could get rid of Hawkeye and put in somebody else, I would.
I'll make a caveat. If I was forced to part ways with Hawkeye, for getting back Taskmaster, I'll put that dude in the trash can. Because Taskmaster was really fun, and Hawkeye was basically the same thing as Taskmaster, just not as melee focused. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Hawkeye. Bye-bye Hawkeye.
Yeah, he's such a waste of a slot. Mainly because of the fact that, like, you want to use a depowered, like, Marvel person. Whereas, like, I think Black Widow with her gauntlets that shoot shit would have been really cool. And some of her
gauntlets that shoot shit?
Yeah, that's what those gauntlets are supposed to be that she wears. Like with the, it's like they're like bracelets. She doesn't do it. Yeah.
She can do it. Does she do it?
Just like a woman. Ugh. That's a joke. Everybody on the other side.
No, it's not.
Because I feel like
okay.
she has a cool play style. Okay.
Yeah. Chris Redfield. No.
Yes.
Chris. I like the way Chris plays.
No. Here's why. I want to cut Chris and put Leon in. They'll play exactly the same.
I feel like both Chris and Leon have very secure spaces within the hearts of hardcore Resident Evil fans. If they were both in the game and had like really different movesets, they would be really interesting. Because I think Leon's a lot more of a kind of sleek, dynamic, close combat kind of guy. Whereas Chris is like, heavy arms, fucking gun guy.
I see what you mean.
If those two were both in the game and they kind of complemented each other, that would be really good.
I see what you mean.
Also, where the fuck did Wesker go? I guess he fell in that fucking lava bath for a little too long and we just dropped him.
Chris!
If Wesker came back, I would also be willing to get rid of some heal for him, but I'm just like that.
So what do you say? Yes or
Stay
no,
or go?
Chris?
I say stay.
Okay.
I like his weapon set.
Alright. So, Mega Man X.
Well,
Yeah.
he finally came back to us.
So let's not. We don't even have to discuss that. That's all three of us. Like, yeah, hooray, he's back.
Yeah, I'm biased too. So.
Well, I mean, okay, Zero.
Same.
Yeah.
I like Sword. Sword's cool.
You play him.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna discuss that either. So yeah, he's gone. Ultron. I like Ultron. I just don't know how to play his kit.
Haven't
Haven't
played
touched
a
him.
lot of Ultron
Same.
at all, but he's like one of the main villains of the like unless the story was different,
So
I couldn't
like
see
I
you not
said,
having
we are
Ultron.
completely
Oh,
ignoring
fuck the
everything.
story?
We are
Okay.
completely ignoring everything.
Hold up, I like that. Okay, so fuck the story. Should we have Ultron?
Like we don't give a.
You can't use Ultron to his full potential as a fighting game character.
What the fuck do you think their mom was doing? She was sitting there fisticuffing with Frank West when he can literally erase his existence.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like that's the reason why we can't have people like Sentry. Like you can't give them actual
No,
justice
that's
in
the
a
thing.
fighting
We totally
game.
could put them
Because they get powered down enough in the context of the game to make sense.
like in Frank
The
West's,
game doesn't really give
In
context.
Frank West's
Yeah.
introduction, he was fighting freaking Galactus.
Yeah,
You could solo Galactus playing.
so
Frank
for
West.
the same, I'm gonna give the same argument, and I hate repeating myself, but Ultron was just the major villain of a recent Marvel film, and I feel like Ultron being in the game.
So I'd say yes too.
Yeah, yes, because he's there to sell the game, basically, to people who like movies.
Right. Gamora. I'm gonna say the same thing about Rocket Raccoon. I'd much rather have Star Lord and her be part of Star Lord's kit.
I disagree.
I'm fine with her being her own person.
Okay.
So the reason why I want Gamora in the game is because the game's female representation is very low,
that is true.
and she is a really interesting female character, and I feel like she has a unique niche in the game as like kind of a lightning bruiser, kind of rushdown character, and that we lost like 3 of with the transition because we lost Wolverine, we lost X-23,
and we lost Deadpool, which people say she plays kind of like.
Yeah,
her
she
sometimes,
does.
doesn't
Yeah.
I mean, I played her. I like playing it.
So yeah, we lost a lot of people who she kind of fills in for. So I think she's a good addition to the game.
All right. So 2 yeses and
Yeah.
1 no. So we're fine.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you
already.
were.
Yeah,
You were like
plays Gamora.
You were somewhat no. I don't think you were like hardcore no, Colin. That
I
was like,
I want her in the game, but I want her to be part of Star Lord's kit because Chris Pratt is awesome. But
for the same reason you forsake
Rocket
Benedict
Raccoon.
Cumberbatch. You're just like, yeah, dude, Chris Pratt is my homie.
I mean, you have to remember, Marvel vs. Capcom still has Marvel in it. But anyways, Spider-Man.
Never been a fan, even in MVC2, but he's the most popular Marvel character.
Yeah, it would be
I
hard.
love Spider-Man too. I just wish he had a better kit.
His moveset needs to be improved.
It would be hard.
He's a Shota clone. He plays like Ryu. He just doesn't have a hurricane kick.
He needs to be a counter character. I don't know why they never capitalize on the concept of making Spider-Sense a fighting game mechanic.
But see,
Because in the fucking 70s cartoon, that shit didn't work. My spidey senses are, yeah. But yeah,
so
Spider-Man.
basically, like, this isn't us. If all 3 of us still said no, we'd have to say, yeah, he's gonna be in the game. Like, he's
I
an
don't
inevitability.
think Spider-Man has ever been powerful enough mechanically to justify being Spider-Man, because he's supposed to be one of the all-around best fighters in Marvel. And from what I've seen in the last 2 iterations of the game, like until
Web swing.
So
until I
yes,
see
but he-
Spider-Man and Evo, I'm gonna say no.
So yes, but he needs a better kit.
Yeah. He's really
Okay.
underwhelming.
All right. Next line, Nemesis. No.
No.
Yeah, I'd rather have Wesker. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck Nemesis.
I don't think Nemesis is selling copies. Putting him on the cover of the game doesn't do shit.
Unless you're putting him in front of a certain kind of a video or You know,
I mean, he
tentacles
was.
and, you know,
I mean, he
no-
was literally on the cover of Resident Evil 3. I still don't care.
I think it would be interesting if they had said, like, adding in a zombie mode. Play against hordes of zombies as your fighting character and keep one bar, and the number of zombies keeps going up, and then the boss is Nemesis.
Yeah.
And they tried to sell it off as, like, an extra mode. That would be a cool way to sell copies
And
of the
if
game.
their like reason for having Nemesis was like, oh, we need a big guy to do things. Like, how many big guys are there? Like, bring back fucking Juggernaut.
True.
Get out of my head,
There
Charles.
are hella, like, Marvel big guys.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dante, yes.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, people are going to play Dante. People are going to
still-
want Dante.
I
Yeah.
still retain that I am the only person alive who actually enjoyed DMC Devil May Cry and would not mind Dante having a DMC Dante skin.
It's like a video game version of Shakespeare.
No, it isn't.
And somebody who was on the fucking set said that shit.
What the fuck?
Yes, like the guy who voiced like the major bad guy, Mundus. He was like, it's a video game version of Shakespeare. The
No,
writing,
it isn't.
the writing's so good. And you know,
No, it isn't. The game was just fun as fuck.
4chan tore that meme apart.
No!
They took that quote and they were like, yeah.
No. Okay,
Vanessa
so
Brooks
Dante
put up-
overwhelmingly gets to stay.
What did she say, Joe?
Vanessa Brooks put up a smiley face with hearts for eyes and said, Dante. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody likes Dante. Ryu, no.
Whoa.
Okay, again,
Poster boy for Capcom. For
Yeah,
Street
I
Fighter?
know.
Okay.
I would
Capcom
say
as
for
a whole.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Who plays Street Fighter? No, Mega Man is for Capcom as a whole, despite him not getting his own
I
game
think
in
they
years.
both have their niche.
They both
Yes, but
are up
here's the
there.
thing. Who plays Street Fighter and plays as Ryu? There are
Me?
so many more cool characters from Street Fighter that could have filled that slot. Akuma would have been more interesting.
I
Oni
disagree.
would have been more
Akuma's not
interesting.
interesting anymore. He's been oversaturated. He's been put too many places.
He is in
There
a lot
is
of things
that.
right now.
Yeah.
There is that. Like, he's in freaking Tekken of all things. That's part of what surprised me that he's not in this game.
I think
He
it's
was in Tekken
because
9.
he's
Yeah,
in
they're
Tekken,
like Akuma needs to take a rest. Akuma's like, I got 5 kids. I need a vacation. Y'all not taking care of me. I'm about to quit.
I'm gonna go.
Akuma.
I'm gonna take a break at Tekken for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love like when you say it like that, and I do play Tekken 7, and I do love playing as Akuma in there. When you put it like that, I can understand leaving Ryu in.
Yeah.
He's just so not interesting.
If they had
And
a
I
couple
mean, like
more
you
characters,
could have done like Cammy, or you could have done Alex, or you could have done Charlie, or you could have done Nash.
a lot of people
his
wanted
Street
to
Fighter
see.
5 version.
A lot of people wanted to see Q come back. He's from Third Strike.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were like, "Yeah, what the fuck is Q?" And then fucking Street Fighter 5 was like, "Well, who the fuck is Q? We got fucking Urian. We got Colin." And I think a lot of people would have been happy if Q showed up for it. So if you had put Q into like a game where a lot of people didn't know him, like get rid of fucking who was the big guy we were just taking shit on?
Nemesis.
Yeah, to get rid of Nemesis, put him.
Wow, and you forget his
There is
fucking name.
that.
Like,
But
He's that forgettable.
But here's my thing, like, when I get these crossover games, because they have characters I'm familiar with, they introduce me to new characters and
that
I'm
you
like,
end up
"Whoa, who the hell
liking.
is that?"
Like Jeddah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I knew who Jeddah was before this, because, again, I played Marvel 3, and I saw Morgan, and I saw
she's
Felicia.
waifu.
Yes, no, Felicia is waifu. And I was like, now I want to play
That's
Darkstalkers.
not okay.
And
Hello,
that's how I
Felicia.
learned about Jeddah. But, like, I understand putting Ryu in. It's just from my perspective, you could learn about Ryu by putting in a different Street Fighter character and somebody being like, hey, this Alex guy is really cool. Where's he from? Oh, Street Fighter 3. Oh, look, there's Ryu.
I feel like what they could have done, especially as far as Street Fighter goes, Ken's the way Ken works is really different in Street Fighter 5. Like, he's a lot more kick focused. He's more of a rush down character. He still has the Shoto elements.
Especially considering Ken has been...
If they had put in like the Shoto Ken for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I think he would have been a really fun character for people to play, because there are a lot of characters who rely on like momentum, like Zero. I think he would fit in that same niche reasonably well.
Plus, Street Fighter now gets on ESPN. So I mean, people know who Ken is a lot more than they did. I mean, even though he's like, you know, the second poster boy for Street Fighter. I mean, if you both say yes, fine, but I understand why he should be in. I still don't want him in.
Hey, Colin,
Yeah.
is Chun-Li next?
No, Iron Man is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
He's a hard Marvel poster boy at the moment.
Okay. So that
Also,
one's quick, too.
he's a pretty good, like, classic character. Going back to MVC2 up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So Thanos, yes.
I haven't played him, but I know a lot of people wank him on fucking who would win threads. So.
Oh, I think Thanos is a better character than Ultron. Because my brain was like, yeah, Gerard's right. When it comes to like main antagonist in the MCU, like recently, I was like, who was bigger than Ultron? And it's like, oh yeah, fucking Thanos. He just hasn't shown up yet, but he's that boy right now.
Well, he has appeared, but he has not been relevant.
Yeah, he's not like a fighter person.
So like
yet.
my thing is that currently I completed the story mode, and it looks like they're trying to set up for a season 2 of story mode, and it looks like Thanos will be the primary enemy in that. And if he is, fucking sweet.
Thanos and or Death.
Because
or Death.
Thanos should be.
Well, Death was technically the main antagonist of this because she
hasn't
indirectly
shown up,
related to Ultron.
But
no,
if
she
she's
did
gonna
appear. She just like didn't appear in combat.
Yeah, in game. Yeah, I was gonna say if she's gonna be DLC, she'd be really interesting.
So yeah, for me on Thanos. Yeah, from Gerard on Thanos.
Yeah, from me as well. But
Okay.
definitely my answer is no on Ultron. It's not like an overrule thing, but just like now for sure. Yeah, for the record, fuck Ultron. He can't.
Okay.
He doesn't work well.
Nova. Mechanically, I like Nova. If I could get rid of Nova and put in somebody that I liked mechanically and as a character, I would gladly get rid of Nova.
I think I know why you're looking so pained, Jet. You're thinking to yourself,
Quasar.
Sentry?
Nah. Quasar is like an energy manipulation character who makes constructs and shit, and I feel like he could play similarly to Nova, but more creatively.
Plus, he's not even in the MCU right now. I mean, yes, the Nova Corps has appeared before you people tear my ass open about it, but no, Nova has not appeared, and I don't care that he's been implied to appear. He's not a cool character. He's just full of himself, and he calls himself the Human Rocket. Okay,
Rocket Punch.
Every man has a human rocket. So nice work on that, man.
So I think.
Plus, the only reason they even left him in here is because he's like a Magneto Doctor Doom function.
No.
Like, I mean, he even had like that's why they said let's leave him in because he has part of his kit.
Gross fucking.
Because like he's got his like javelin throw, which is like Doom's hidden missiles.
Not good enough.
No, it's not good enough. That's why I'm like fuck him.
Yeah, I'm no on Nova.
No on Nova, no from me, Gerard, unless you have like some will to override it.
I think Sentry would be better.
Yeah. Bye bye Nova.
I feel like Sentry is like a whole other thing.
Well,
I think I would drop Thor for Sentry, but you can't drop Thor. It's another one of those iconic ones, yeah. But they would play closer.
Spencer. I'm gonna say no.
I never cared about Spencer.
it's time to let you go, Spencer.
There we go.
Yeah.
He was really good in MVC3s. Now he's balls. All right, Chun-Li. Again,
Yes.
same argument as
Get this
yes,
bitch
yes.
out of here.
Yes.
Replace her with a better bitch.
Ah.
Where's my Cammy? Where's my jury?
Where's my Menat? I mean, that would have been.
just came out.
I know, but that would have been so cool. It's like, hey, she's gonna be DLC in Street Fighter V, and she's also gonna be on the launch roster for MVCI.
Vegeta said Nickabenson is a cuck. Yo,
Stop being a cuck.
Chun-Li is the new Berserker of Barrage. We don't have Wolverine. We gotta.
Dude, every move she has, either Ryu or Dante has.
Still, I gotta give my.
You
girl
can't
a kick.
just like
I gotta.
You
value
have
a
one
character.
override. You have one override. You have two no's against you. You can use your override right
I'm
now.
not
and
gonna.
leave Chun-Li in.
I'm not gonna override the vote. But for the record, I still vote yes for Chun-Li.
Bye bye, Chun-Li. I would much rather have Cammy. You are just a female Ryu. Even down to your crappy Kikoken.
They all look the same to me.
Morgan, I say yes. I mean, if you guys both say no, I'm not going to override it.
If
but I say it.
Darkstalkers is gonna have representation, it might as well be her.
Well, I would also be willing to get rid of her and have somebody else from Darkstalkers because I actually do really like Jeddah. But I mean, if you guys both say, well,
I don't have a problem with her.
so
Nerd Tanker says he doesn't know enough. Vegeta said, "What you guys plan?" We're voting on who we'd want to stay or leave from the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite
it hadn't
roster.
occurred to me, but this being a stream means people are going to come into this
Live and just be like, "What is this?"
Yeah, so we'll have to like once we get through this,
We
before
explain
start
what we
adding-
just did, and then
before we start adding characters, we need to be like, these are the people we cut. We have this many open slots. So I say yes to Morgan. Gerard says yes to Morgan. That
I'll
means
say yes to Morgan.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't play Hulk in 3, but I played Hulk here, and he's fun.
Same.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that they use the. I mean, I've got to give them props for not using SJW lesbian Captain Marvel. So on those grounds, I'd say yes.
Captain Marvel, they've been trying to give her more attention. She's going to get a movie. She was really big in Civil War II, so...
You said you wanted something that give things haste for the dinosaur deck for when the dinosaurs came. Yeah, I'll put this in there.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'll say yeah on Captain Marvel. I need to start finding some Marvel people to drop. Vegeta's like, why didn't you acknowledge my comments in which I involved calling you a cuck and mentioning banging your wife? Don't worry, I just did. That was your acknowledgement.
He also doesn't have a wife, so whatever. Thor, yeah. I mean, like, basically...
Better kit.
No, what the fuck are you talking about? His kit is so much better than it was in 3.
I'm still voting yes, but I still feel like he could be better. I really do think he could be better.
Like, I mean, I would totally... Like, his kit is fine to me, but if he could have an improved kit, I'm not going to complain.
Oh, also, thank you all for smashing the like button. We got 3 likes so far.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Thor, fine?
He's okay.
Yeah. Alright, Firebrand.
Cut his ass.
I like him, but I would gladly cut him for the same reason I'd cut Arthur. I'd rather have other characters.
Would you just remove that series completely?
Yeah.
Fair.
I would remove Resident Evil if I could, but I understand Leon Kennedy is a fucking badass.
Chris Redfield punches boulders, my dude.
I forgot about that. So yeah, Chris Redfield is a badass. I still vote no on Chris, but so Firebrand, no for me.
No for me.
Firebrand's okay. I really don't mind a lot of characters who represent like small games. Not that it's a small game, but it's a small game.
Well, I also need to preface, I've played every character on the roster so far, and I've actually enjoyed playing every character on the roster. But at the same time, if I could have a character that does what they do that I recognize and is cooler anyways, I would gladly put them in. So, Jeddah, yes.
I did like Jeddah. Jeddah was one of those that I didn't know how I'd feel about it, and then I played it and I was like, it's alright. It's not like a main or anything, but it's not.
He's
not bad.
I like Jeddah on the grounds that we didn't have a lot of like zoning caster types. I mean, we had Dormammu, we had Doctor Strange.
Plus, I love his laugh.
And that was like it. I guess Iron Man can be.
He's not a caster. Doctor Doom at best.
Doctor Doom's fucking gone though.
But
he is gone.
But Jeddah has his whole flying and turning his wings into blades thing.
You mean he has Sonic Spin Dash?
Yeah. Alright, so Hagar. Again, I play Hagar.
Gosh,
I like Hagar.
fucking...
I would rather him just not be there.
Yeah, we don't need Final Fight representation. Who's like, where are my Final Fight characters at?
Where the fuck is my rock?
No. If we're gonna have a character from Final Fight, put in freaking Poison, because that would just be hilarious.
She has a dick.
No, she doesn't.
She has a dick.
She does not
she
have
has a dick. Problem, you've been trapped. You've activated my trap card.
Have you seen the clothes she wears? If she had a dick, we could see it.
She tucks, dude.
Okay, then let's put in Roxy, who is her
we don't
without
need anybody from
Final Fight.
Yeah,
it's a joke. I mean, if we completely cut Final Fight, I'd be totally fine with that. Okay. Captain America has to stay.
What do you think, Stream? Do you think Poison has a dick?
Does Poison have a dick?
Of course she has a dick.
Post in the
live
live chat.
Stupid reason people say she has a dick. Like, it wouldn't even be an argument if they were like, hey, feminists are going to get mad at us if we let you punch a girl. Wait, didn't we just release Street Fighter where you can punch the crap out of Chun-Li and Cammy? Yeah, we're still going to do this thing. So, I think it's bullshit, but whatever. So, yeah, Hagar, Captain America, yes. He needs a better kit, and it's an improved kit from 3, mind you. He's got a better kit than he had in 3, but I would still say he needs a better kit.
I think he's fine.
Captain America's another one of the fucking movie poster boys, and
He's literally America.
Sure. Yes to Cap, but
America.
Never been a huge fan.
Yeah, Dormammu must stay.
Yes.
Whoa, I'd vote no on Dormammu.
Fuck off, Jet.
Well, like I said, I'd rather Strange have his set, and then you can just have
Ghost Rider.
He can leave.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna miss Ghost Rider.
Yeah, please get out.
I'm gonna say yes for the record, but at the same time, I don't mind him going. So Ghost Rider goes. Again, one of those improved kits in comparison to his 3 kit, but I would rather have somebody I like more.
I'm surprised we didn't vote out more Marvel people than we actually did. We actually hit Capcom pretty hard.
Yeah. So now we're into the first
round of DLC that we are aware of. And for the record, the current rumor is that we're going to get Sigma, Monster Hunter, Black Widow, Venom, Black Panther, and Winter Soldier, which would mean we're getting 4 Marvel characters and only 2 Capcom characters. And I think that's bullshit, first off. And Black Widow sucks. So we're going to pretend that they haven't said that the rumor is not about Black Widow, and we're just going to call that a freebie slot for the moment.
Damn, just the straight up denial. When I have that Boku no Hero moment where I'm like, you know, Black Widow would have been way cooler than Hawkeye, and then you flash back to the present where Colin's like, man, Black Widow, what the fuck? Who thought that was a good idea?
I never even said that she would have been better. I was just like, oh, she'd be better if she did her wrist.
Yeah,
thing.
the wrist thing. I feel like that'd be really cool.
All right, so Sigma is a yes in my book, just for some serious Mega Man representation.
I mean, we already have Mega Man representation.
Yeah, he's already.
I'm gonna say cut because remember we're ignoring story. So ignoring story, I wouldn't want Sigma.
Yeah, but I want Sigma because he's got a scythe and he's a Mega Man character. What did you say again, Gerard?
I think he's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
It wouldn't be like. Yeah, because Mega Man's never had a Mega Man villain in the game, right?
Mm-mm.
But Mega Man's always been in the game. Like it's not.
Yeah, but I mean, like the problem has always been, what character are you gonna put in from Mega Man? Are you gonna put in one of the Robot Masters that there are like 80 billion of, or are you gonna put in Dr. Wily? And no, you don't put in Dr. Wily.
With like a mech suit or something. I don't know. That's the kind of shit you would do. Let's see. Oh, X said, hey, the fuck are you guys doing?
We're doing a roster rundown of MVCI, and we're debating about what characters to cut and what characters to add in the hypothetical universe that the 3 of us had the ultimate say in the roster.
Yeah. MVCI being Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, in case you forgot.
Yeah, and we are sticking to certain stipulations, including we cannot have more than 36 pre-DLC round 2, no X-Men characters, and we must have an even split of Marvel and Capcom characters. Alright, so Sigma stays. Monster Hunter, yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. He sounds cool. And plus, Monster Hunter's becoming and Monster Hunter's becoming more popular.
Yeah, it's getting a lot more attention in the States, and that makes me really happy.
There are very few Capcom things that I, even understand, but I'm fine with Monster Hunter.
Did you ride?
I guess.
Alright. Like I said, freebie slot where Black Widow technically exists. Venom, yes. Fuck yes. Do you remember him from MVC2?
Oh, well, my thing is, I'm not against Venom at all. My thought process was, well, if we're getting Venom, I kind of wouldn't mind saying fuck Spider-Man. Spider-Man just hasn't been good, in the game so far. So if we had Venom...
There was actually a point in MVCI's pre-launch that we thought we weren't going to get Spider-Man.
Yeah, when they were between...
And I mean, I love Spider-Man. I grew up with Spider-Man. He's the dude that got me into Marvel in the first place. But then I saw Venom and I was like, holy fuck, this guy's so much more cooler. Cooler, because that's exactly what 8-year-old Colin said.
Because I don't think anyone doesn't know who Venom is who knows who Spider-Man is. You know what I mean?
Did he get redacted?
No, I'm saying, but if you have the Man of the Castle and activates ability, once you have your original combat, you'd get the second.
That is very good.
It'd take a lot of mana, but I think it's possible.
That is very good.
So I think if I vote yes for Venom, I would vote no for Spider-Man. I would renege on Spider-Man. I'd be like,
that's fair to say. You just swap one for one.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, if we cut Spider-Man and could put in a different Spider-Man character and we still got to keep Venom, yes.
Paul Paulus said, I want Carnage.
I think Carnage would be a good
I think a lot of people, there was actually a really big push for trying to get Carnage.
Which I'm willing, since their kit would be super similar, I'm willing to bet, how the DLC is working is that each of the characters are going to launch with an alternate skin. So
you think he's going to get an alternate of Carnage?
Venom will get a Carnage skin.
I feel like Carnage is so much of a smaller, faster character, though.
But he could be, but his kit, they would make him play like Venom.
Gross.
In the same way that, Sabretooth was just a bigger, slower Wolverine, Venom is just a bigger, slower Carnage.
X says the stream is a little too laggy for him. Fair enough. Everyone has internet problems.
Yes,
you are on our internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, So I would read
Actually,
that.
my brain suddenly was like, I don't even remember. This may just be on data. Yeah, this is just on data. I don't think I ever connected to with my phone.
Can you connect to the Wi-Fi without breaking the stream?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
Hindsight, though. I'll remember that in the future.
well, I would gladly redact and say cut Spider-Man.
I also redact and say cut Spider-Man.
Good fuck Spider-Man.
Sorry, Venom's a cooler character.
Venom's just
I like
a better
his story
character.
a lot more. Black Panther. I'm going to say yes.
I just wish. Well, no, I don't have any wishes for Black Panther. I just want him in the game.
Yeah, he has a movie coming out. He is an interesting character. I feel like he's gonna be somewhat of a Wolverine clone, but that's fine.
Well, you see, there was a point in my life I really hated Black Panther, and then I found out he did something in the comic books that made me like regain a lot of respect for him. And currently speaking, in his current run of comics, like they're doing some awful things to him, and it upsets me really bad because I like old Black Panther. So yeah,
Funny
I want
story,
Black Panther
guys.
because they're using old Black Panther anyways.
Black Panther, part of the reason for his conception is that Marvel wanted to get black female readers, and they were like, well, if we introduce like a black male sex symbol and then we marry him to Storm, they'll come running. And it didn't happen.
They made Black Panther just so he could marry Storm.
Yes.
It's a good thing he grew beyond that.
Yeah, they broke up.
So yeah,
Yes,
Black
please.
Panther can stay.
X said, actually, I'm gonna be right back. Cool.
Winter Soldier can go fuck himself.
I think the same, like, from the movie argument applies here.
Yeah, but he'd just be
No?
Cap-
No, I don't know what the fuck Winter Soldier's gonna do.
He would just
When
be
I
Captain
block,
America without a
I
shield.
hold up my metal
He would
arm.
be Spencer without the extendo arm.
Yeah, so like fucking useless. He's like he's a guy. They would give him guns. He would shoot pistols. You know, like get
So
the
he
fuck
would
out
be,
of here.
He would be a weaker version of Spencer with guns. is
He'd
what
be
he
a
would
weaker version of Chris.
Shit.
Yes.
I don't know.
Get
Well,
his
he doesn't
bitch
even
ass out
use
of
his
here.
arm like Spencer would. Like if
He
they were
wouldn't.
making like a, if
He
they
would
were
hit
trying
people.
to make a,
He'd say
they were
vibranium strike.
they were trying to make
Why
a
you gotta throw the
faithful
shade?
recreation of him in his kit, then he would not play like Spencer. If they were just like, hey, he's got a robot arm too, like Spencer, let's make him play like Spencer. But they won't do that.
No, they couldn't.
That's because
he
his.
couldn't
That's
play
not how his
Spencer.
arm works. It's
Yeah.
just this is actually not his character.
So yeah, my Winter Soldier can go fuck himself stands.
Yeah, 100%.
Feels bad.
Yeah, did you also vote no on that ass?
Um,
I voted no on that ass.
If he played like Spencer, yeah, he could stay in. But
Not even.
like old Spencer, like old
It's
Spencer,
impossible.
not
He
MVCI
doesn't.
Spencer.
His arm isn't his wife, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Bucky's arm.
My boy
can't-
didn't go to Guam.
Bucky's arm can't fucking make a sound.
Okay, so
I just imagine Bucky like tries to make a sandwich and he just can't.
His arm just like.
It's like on his feet list as an anti-feet.
it's like no. It's like he's slowly trying to make the sandwich. Careful, and a little like chunk of mayo ends up on his fingertip, and it just falls off his rib.
He
falls
reaches
off
for the
shoulders.
bread, his arm just freezes. And
Paul Paula said they should have added Iceman. Part of our
No.
rules are no X-Men, no Fantastic Four characters.
And even
they
if
just
we did have X-Men, I would say no to Iceman.
Fox is hogging the
Iceman to
rights.
Iceman sucks. I
Whoa,
don't care.
what?
I don't
I'm
care.
sorry.
I don't care
Hold the
about
phone.
it.
Yeah,
No.
why?
I'm talking about in the current comics, and I don't give a shit about his whole "I just caused a fucking ice age." shit.
He's
That's
getting
not
like
even
his
cool.
own run. He's so popular.
Yes, he is getting his own run. I don't
It's-
care.
I-
No. He's not even that popular.
He's so good.
Do you understand that Marvel is
Phil
cutting like? Do you understand that Marvel is cutting like 30 of their currently running comics because they suck?
They
Because
do
are
suck.
Trying to appeal
Oh
to
my
the wrong
gosh.
audience.
Fucking-
Like freaking America running right now. Like not even no. America is a different character from Captain America. Do you understand that?
Well,
America Chavez. Who
Oh.
names the
America
character
Chavez.
America Chavez?
oh, I thought you were talking about the U.S. Avengers, which is a fucking book. It's such a meme.
I don't even know what
it's,
that is. No,
it's
I'm
so
talking,
dumb.
I'm talking about
So
America Chavez, whose power is literally punching holes into
Into
existence.
reality is fucking great.
And
Did you
she's
read
got
Young
two-
Avengers?
And she's got two mommies who actually birthed her. She's like,
yeah.
she's like, she's from a race of
Universe?
lesbians. She's from-
Steven Universe?
Very, very similar.
Steven
She
Universe?
existed from before Steven
She
Universe, but they basically took Steven Universe and made it Marvel.
I
'Cause,
fucking love America Chavez.
Like, you shouldn't, because like I'm subscribed to this dude on YouTube, and his whole thing is like
that film.
Like he goes through like his name is why can I not remember his name? He's so
Is that his name?
no his name is Micah Curtis. And he's like really critical of Marvel right now and what they're doing with their characters. And he had a whole series called Why Marvel's America Sucks. And he literally went through and pointed out, look at this. Look at what they did to Storm. Because like they retconned Storm in America. And she sucks. She's awful. They retcon Storm. They take like a really interesting character in Storm and just make her like, oh, look at me. I'm a big, strong black woman who don't need no man. And you, America Chavez, who are also a woman of color, don't need no man. It's like, are you serious? You have literally reduced her to a stereotype? You suck, people. Like, Storm was so cool, and now she sucks because of America Chavez. So fuck America Chavez, and fuck Steven Universe for making America Chavez suck. Anyways, off my podium. Still, go look at Micah Curtis. He's awesome and deserves more subscribers.
That film, Steven Universe gets a chef for no reason.
Alright, so
Steven Universe wasn't even doing anything.
Alright, so that is the end of the DLC and the confirmed DLC and the current roster. So, we are cutting from the Capcom side, Frank West, Nemesis, Spencer, Chun-Li, Firebrand, and Hagar, totaling up at 6 characters getting cut. From the Marvel side, we are losing Rocket Raccoon, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Nova, Ghost Rider, and Winter Soldier, once again tallying up at 6.
Whoa, fuck, how did we... Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, I agree.
So, I have compiled a short list of characters I would like to put in if we're cutting things. Mm-hmm. Now, we've already discussed some of these, and we could like go through and again vote unless you guys have some...
Yeah, I'd totally be down with voting. I also like to add people, like you were about to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So...
Oh, Paula also said that they would love Taskmaster as well. Yeah.
Why even have Hawkeye if Taskmaster is a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, from a gameplay standpoint.
Exactly.
He moves.
Yeah. Can we add a few people to the list before we start?
Well, isn't that like the next step?
Oh, no. I mean to the list that we were going to vote on, that like Colin had already made. Yeah, because then we could vote on them too.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a character you want to put in, just say so. And
yeah.
For the record, once we're done with this, we can still go back and say, hey, let's imagine that they got 4 seasons of DLC and just like have some fun and say, hey, let's put this guy in.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have people in mind yet?
Yeah, Quasar.
Is Quasar Marvel?
Marvel. Yeah. Sentry, also Marvel. I don't remember her name. She's not the girl from the Devil Dinosaur thing, but she's a girl with a dinosaur from Runaways.
If you can't remember the name, we're just going to say she's irrelevant.
No. They're getting a show. They're getting a Hulu show.
I don't care about Hulu!
And the book run was great. And I would love to see...
It was so great you'd remember her name, Joe.
I don't remember the names of anime characters. I couldn't tell you who the fucking smartphone guy's actual name is. I'm actively watching it.
Well, that's because you identify him as the smartphone guy, not what his name is.
All right.
That's why I
I
identify as that bitch. She's a dinosaur girl. I don't...
Just remember her name.
All right. Anybody else?
Let's see. Also, jump in, Drock, because I know you have people.
I would say from... I almost said Juggernaut there. I remember that X-Men trip. I know Jet's gonna continue me on this one, but I think seeing as how popular the Netflix Marvel universe has been recently, I think
it technically is canon at the moment too.
I think Daredevil would be a good addition.
He's already on my list too.
Oh,
especially if he was like a stance character, because I know he has a few different
changing his like staff to his batons,
or just using his fucking fists, something like that. From the Capcom side, and I've been saying this since the moment MVC3 came out, bring in fucking Gene from God Hand. God Hand was a really fun,
he's on my list too.
Midwestern futuristic beat 'em up with really interesting mechanics, and by virtue of how the God Hand works, Gene could be like one of those not sandbox characters, Jesus, toolbox characters who just has like a lot of different answers for things, and he'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting to see somebody who really understands how the game works play with him. I think he'd be a really fun character.
I think Elektra could be interesting.
Yeah, like if Daredevil and Elektra got like brought in together as DLC.
Oh, and you could like use them as a team. Yeah, I see that.
All right.
Yeah, OTP.
So
I've,
you
like,
guys
heard
have
of
no
him as a-
opinion. Well, you and I, every single one you said was on my list for Capcom too. So we have nothing to add on the Capcom side. but on the
I'll give
Marvel-
Capcom a little more thought.
I thought about the Power Stone dude, and then I was like, nah,
No.
not really.
I mean, I'd rather than
From
just make it a Power
Capcom,
Stone.
if we do need more Street Fighter representation, because I know Street Fighter is like one of the only Capcom games a lot of American audience is familiar with, fucking M. Bison. Bring Bison back.
He's on my
The
list.
mighty Bison never dies.
Well, I mean, we can. If you think like, oh shit, let's put that in, then we can.
We can
that
do it like
as we
mid
go.
thing.
Yeah.
Paula said, Punisher instead of Winter Soldier! Hard exclamation points.
Punisher's
Punisher
already on
would
the
just
list
be
here.
like
Chris.
Chris. Yeah, he'd be Chris.
He'd be Chris.
No. He wouldn't be like Chris because
He'd have more melee options.
No. Not
I
even
guess.
that. In the comics, he dies, and then God's like, "Holy shit! This guy is a total badass," and he revives Punisher as a damn angel, as an archangel. The Punisher is an archangel of Christianity.
Does he
nice,
fly
Colin.
now? Like, what
Yeah,
extra
he's got
things?
wings and can shoot light and all this other bullshit. He's so fucking cool. He's like everything I ever wanted as a kid. He's like a Marine and an angel at the same time. He's so cool.
He's a Marangel.
And, you know, him being like the symbol of the Marines, the actual real life Marines, I think that would get a lot of attention from them.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one thing to consider. So
It's almost like he's, oh shit, he's just like a veteran, just straight up. He already died.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start going down this. Well, let's narrow the list down I've got here into less.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
then add more things.
Yeah, as we go. Because, like I said, we've got 6 slots on each side. Damn, we had a lot more than I thought we would.
I'm glad that it was balanced.
Yeah, it was also accidental.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Asura, as an Asura's Wrath. That is at the top of my list. Asura's Wrath. Asura needs representation.
I find that character really linear and not interesting at all. Sorry.
I don't know enough about it to
He
like
gets
give a
angry and
vote.
punches people.
He's also canon
That's it.
in Street Fighter.
He gets angry and punches people. That's his character. He has like what, 6 arms?
Yeah.
He has 6 arms. He gets angry, he punches people.
He can also go into, like, he's a god. Like, I loved Asura's Wrath just as a story and for gameplay when you weren't button mashing. And the button mashing was actually, well, not button mashing, but like the quick time events were actually really well executed. So, I'm going to use my override for Asura. Unless Jet's like, yeah, just put him in.
And Jet doesn't have any.
No.
I have no opinion.
Yeah,
Like
so,
I can't make a real vote.
So, Asura is my override. So, we'll just put a big ol' O there for override. Marvel, Daredevil. Yes, from me.
I'd say nah.
Yes, from Gerard.
Yep.
From Capcom, Felicia. Yes, from me.
No real opinion. I feel like Black Panther will probably play with like a good like scratching mechanic. Like he'll use his vibranium claws a lot.
If they made
feel-
Black Panther do a Neko punch, then
I feel like
Felicia can
Felicia's-
just stay on my phone.
I feel like Felicia's a little too
Niche.
unserious for the tone that MVC has.
Because they didn't even bring Deadpool in.
Yeah, like she just seems
Or
like
Gwenpool.
really out there as a character, and she's cute, and
So
apparently she scratches people. That's
no to Felicia.
cool, I guess.
And Moon Knight.
Yeah, he's like schizophrenic Jewish
See,
Batman.
what would he do though?
He's back.
He's just schizophrenic Jewish Batman.
I
with
know,
moon.
but
He
what
has a
makes
staff.
him
He has
interesting?
moonarangs. He has
Plus, I mean, his
mean-
whole he's schizophrenic and
Jewish and a Batman.
And, you know, he's also, like I said, schizophrenic, so he has the whole thing where he thinks he's getting help from an Egyptian god, and he's basically tanking humongous punches on willpower. Like
I feel like
he could take a
From a
punch the Hulk.
gameplay standpoint, wouldn't he just be like Taskmaster? More
I was
or
gonna
less?
say, yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
like
If any-
that's why I'm like, nah.
So
not
on
really.
the grounds that Taskmaster is going to come up later, and we've all
Pretty much just all said we want him.
So
Yeah,
should Moon Knight just be a no?
I think he should be a no.
Yeah. So since Taskmaster will make it in, when we get to him. So, Star-Lord, we've all basically said
We all
yes.
pretty much said yes.
Oh, everybody else I said you were too slow.
Gene, yes. Gene, for the record, on the stream is from God Hand.
He's the protagonist of God Hand. If you haven't played it, you probably won't because fucking Capcom forgot about that game. They put that game in the fucking freezer and left it to rot.
Alright, back on the Marvel side, Loki. I put him on the list, so I'm going to say
I
yes.
feel like yes, just because he is Thor's main antagonist.
I mean, on the grounds that he has a lot of it. Like, he literally has a fan base.
I know that you ladies out there like the.
I hate his fucking fan base with a passion, but I love Loki.
If they put your boy Loki in,
Mhm.
they need to make him play like that one Marvel bitch they dropped from MVC2, the one who could change into other people. I think that would be cool.
You mean Spiral? 'Cause
Yeah.
She's on this list.
She's on the list too.
She's already on
Well,
the list.
people forgot about her, so I would have Loki be on there with her kid.
But the reason I had her on the list is because she's associated with the X-Men, but she's technically not an X-Men character.
Oh, Deadpool's not in the game for the same reason, right? He's
No,
associated with
he
the
is.
X-Men.
He is absolutely an X-Men
No,
character.
he's never been an X-Men. He's always been associated.
He's more of an
He
X-Force
works
kind of
with
thing.
them, but he's never been an X-Men.
He's also owned by Fox, and I'm pretty sure Spider-Man.
Yeah,
is
he's
not.
owned by Fox.
He's never stepped foot in
Spider-Man's in the Sony
But I mean, if both
territory,
of you
but they're
already
playing
said no
nice.
to Spiral, I will also say no to Spiral.
Okay, so we already hit
I
Spider.
don't think the Spiral has enough.
Yeah,
So
But I
we would
think-
say yes to Loki, though.
I think Loki's alright.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be fine losing Spiral if Loki got in.
Because Loki's a trickster, and I don't want him to be like another caster, so I'd rather him be like, ha,
forgot Wesker.
I'm pretending to be no.
Alright, Leon Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah, Resident
name's-
Evil's.
His name's Kennedy, and that's my second favorite president, so, yeah.
Don't know enough about him, no comment.
So, yeah.
Have you never played Resident Evil before?
Nope.
You
My mom
uncultured.
played Resident Evil 4. She said that one would be too intense for me. Like, we had it on GameCube, and she just was like,
She was
nah.
like,
She was like, don't do it.
Let
I
you
would.
go back and play it now?
I mean, probably. I mean, yes. Yeah, like, I'm
His
an
mom says
adult,
no
Connor.
now.
I was like 10 years
She's
old.
like, no, son, you still can't handle it. You're not mature enough.
Punisher.
Yeah.
I'm a hard yes on that.
I'd say if we said yes, Punisher, goodbye, Chris. It
Well,
just feels
we
like it'd be
may-
too similar.
Depending on how many yeses and nos we have, we may have to redact some stuff. So, Alex from Street Fighter. Again, Alex is one of my favorite characters from Street Fighter. He
No.
gets a yes from me.
No comment. I don't know enough.
Gerard?
Alex is boring. 25.
So, no.
30.
I've already used my override, so no.
20.
Sorry, Alex. Oscar is more cool than you. Green Goblin.
6, 7.
I was thinking about him a second ago when we were talking about fucking Moon Knight. Again, I think Taskmaster's just too similar. Green Goblin would have flight, which would be his big
He would
difference.
be more like Firebrand, I would say.
You're right.
Well, here's the thing. Green Goblin technically already is in the
1,
game
2,
because he's
3,
in
4,
Spider-Man's
5,
level
6,
3.
7.
He is Spider-Man's level 3.
Like, he throws his
Yeah.
goblin grenades, but it's like, I would much rather have Green Goblin as his own character.
I
And
think,
we basically now know he's not because he's in Spider-Man's level 3.
yeah, I think Vulture is more relevant now than Green Goblin. He was the villain in Homecoming.
Yeah. I would still think that they would put Green Goblin
How
in
would
over
you
Vulture.
guys feel if Superior Spider-Man was in the game?
He's a fucking skin.
11.
They have a big problem about, like, not actually utilizing how characters are different. If Superior Spider-Man
If
used,
they
like,
cut
gadgets and
No,
shit,
if they cut
that would be cool.
Spider-Man and put in Superior Spider-Man,
He better have a good
then
move set.
that would
Like,
be awesome.
he needs to actually
But I mean,
use
it
gadgets.
would be Spider-Man with, octopus gadgets.
Yeah, like, his whole thing is, like, he uses gadgets and, like, normal Spider-Man
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't.
if we're talking strictly from a perspective of what would make the roster better, I would say Superior Spider-Man over regular Spider-Man,
Fair.
Well, we have Venom already. Like,
but Venom doesn't play like Spider-Man.
true. Well, Superior Spider-Man wouldn't play.
Either.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, because I would want him to use spider drones. I'd want him
I
to,
would
like...
prefer him anyway, so we'll put him on the bottom of the list and talk about
And
him
we'll
later.
get to... Yeah. I see.
So, yes for me on Green Goblin.
I'd say...
Like, we're just narrowing down the list
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
now. We're not like a hard yeah or no right now.
I'd say probably not on Green Goblin. He's interesting.
What was yours again, Gerard?
What was mine?
For Green Goblin?
I really don't care about the character.
I don't
enough
think he'll
to-
come up
Okay.
anytime soon.
Alright, Minot from Street Fighter. We've already discussed her, and I'm the only one that said yes, so.
I mean, she thick, but
Don't know enough.
yeah, exactly.
She not just thick, she's, everything, but we already said no, so.
Is she, to quote Aku,
Extra thick. Extra thick.
Extra thick! Oh, wait, that actually was the thin milkshake.
So, since Iron Man doesn't get any sort of representation from his villains, I'm going to say the Mandarin. And I mean like the comic book Mandarin, not Mandarin from the movies.
We already have like a caster dude though.
I mean,
what does
I
comic
would
book
not
Mandarin
mind
do?
more.
He's magic.
How magic is it?
He has magic rings.
Well, a ring-based system would be interesting.
Where like
Did
he
you ever
had,
watch
if
Iron
he-
Man Armored Adventures?
I fucking loved Iron Man.
Like if he
that is the Mandarin I want.
like if it was like down button to equip a
to
different ring.
do like stamps.
He
It
had
would be a
different
stance
yeah.
character with a different ring.
That
I
would be
fuck with it.
interesting.
Yeah.
So like a combination.
Because it's not casting. So yes, for Mandarin.
Awesome. All right, Cammy. We've also done that meme a little bit.
Yeah, I'd
yes,
much
for
rather
me.
have Cammy than.
I guess Cammy just wins. I know who Cammy is. She's fine. Whatever. We
All right.
lost Chun-Li. Do me something.
All right, Taskmaster. We already said
Yeah, we
this.
pretty much all suck Taskmaster dick.
John Talbane from
Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers. Why did that name escape me all of a sudden? I
Don't
put him
know
on this
enough
list.
about him.
He
I
is
was
a
glad, like,
Kung
now-
Fu werewolf man.
A what?
Kung Fu werewolf man.
Kung Fu Werewolf Man is correct, but since we also didn't cut
I
anybody,
care about John Talbane though.
I mean, if Jet is in, I wouldn't play John Talbane.
I would rather put in Dimitri if I was putting in anybody from
All right.
Darkstalkers.
Well, let's put Dimitri on the list, and we'll. Dimitri already has a yes from me and a yes from you.
I don't think is there currently a vampire on their roster?
No.
So he could probably have like a siphoning kind of
Yeah.
moveset.
So we'll cut Talbane and put Dimitri at the bottom of the list and say we already said yes to him.
yeah.
Abomination, as in Hulk's Abomination.
No,
No.
not if Hulk's in
None
it.
of Hulk's
He's so
villains are
similar.
interesting.
Whoa, shame on you. Like, there's that
Prove
dude.
me wrong.
There's the dude with the big ass head who has like psychic powers.
Modok?
No, not
I know-
Modok. He's
I know who
green.
you're talking
He's a
about.
green guy
I know
with
who
a
you're
big
talking
ass
about.
head.
Fucking
And
head.
I don't
Yeah.
like him anyway.
He's not interesting.
So
What?
Abomination was the only character from Hulk that I was like considering, and since we already said no to that, and I mean the only other option would be She-Hulk or Red Hulk, and both of them are.
Well, you also have like Samson, who's like a normal dude who's really strong, but he's also smart. And then you have fucking.
Well, we're
I'm not
just
the
gonna
biggest
put in-
Hulk person.
Yeah, we're
People
not gonna
want
just
Scar.
put in
Scar would be nice, actually.
Scar?
Scar is
Lion
Hulk's son. Scar is Hulk's son from Planet Hulk. So like,
No, we're not
He's
gonna
like-
put in anybody directly related to Hulk. We already cut She-Hulk.
well, he's like
Unrelated.
barbaric, and you'd have like blades. I'd imagine they'd be like jagged stone blades, and he'd be more of like a faster, strong character.
That would be it.
See,
I mean, like have Hulk have Wolverine.
more or less.
So we'll put him on there. And again, if a character,
I mean, don't let us bully you into like.
no, but I mean
agreeing.
those are two. Like that's two votes.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So
we don't even target.
When Gerard thinks democracy's bullying.
When I realize, yeah,
I mean, democracy
fuck
is
democracy.
bullying. Democracy is bullying. It is absolutely mob rules, but that's how we're doing this.
Six Semper Tyrannis.
So M. Bison, yes from me.
Yes. Yes.
We are now at Quasar.
Well, I mean,
Not a clue.
I know I'm quick.
What's a fucking quasar?
Yo,
Those things that hold stars in place, because that's what quasars are.
my boy has like these gauntlets that reach into an infinite pocket dimension of energy that allows him to
You're
create.
done. I heard you said infinite. I'm not listening anymore.
That allows him to create energy constructs.
When you tell Jake you're not listening, and he rapes you with knowledge anyway.
He can also trap beings inside of his energy pocket dimension. He
When
can
you
teleport.
Call out Jeff raping with knowledge, he continues raping with knowledge.
He can
Alright.
teleport. So he could teleport, do energy moves like energy beams, but also use constructs as weapons and shit.
Oh God!
Quasar has a lot of
no,
options.
I'm looking at him right now. He looks awful.
Show-
no,
what's wrong
no.
with
Yeah, show me-
He looks awful.
What's wrong with
He
him?
just looks like Superman, but with a Nazi cut.
No, see cut.
Look up like a modern image of Quasar.
Captain
there's
America
plenty-
has a comb over.
That's not Captain America's comb over is very different from what this.
It's
guy
an
is.
American comb over.
Yeah, it's not a Nazi comb over. I mean, his newer versions look fine. Is there
Yeah,
a female
see?
version of Quasar?
I believe so.
Okay. But I mean, if his whole thing is he does infinite bullshit, like,
No. It's
He
energy
reaches
stuff.
to
Yeah, it's
from
a.
an infinite dimension.
Like,
It,
how
it means
would-
he doesn't run out of energy.
How would he play in comparison to somebody like Captain Marvel?
In comparison to Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel doesn't do constructs. Like, I imagine his playstyle would involve him making energy weapons as he fights.
Kind of like Green Lantern, but actually cool.
Yes.
So like, you're thinking,
And also teleport and also flight.
well, if he seems more interesting than Nova, I would be yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Like, if he is a better Green Lantern knockoff than Nova, I'll
Yes.
say yes. And
Yes.
again, this is not our hard yes or hard no. This is like we would want to see them in the game or in DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Back on Capcom, Nikali from Street Fighter V.
Don't know enough.
I mean, I had fun playing as him, but I know he's not a fan favorite.
No, he wasn't very well received. I don't really have any
No.
attachments.
Sentry.
Yes.
Don't even.
The simultaneous.
I mean, you also said yes to that. Wesker.
Yes.
Yes. Electra.
Yeah. I would say yes, Electra.
We already discussed Superior Spider-Man, but do we still want to say put Superior Spider-Man in? I think he'd be cool DLC at the minimum.
I like the concept of him using drones, but then in my mind, I'm like, they gave that to Iron Man now, instead of him having repulsor
Strider
blasts.
also has drones.
No. Drones? You mean like that stupid smart bomb? That's not a drone. That literally just sits there.
It's more of a mine.
It's a mine. It is literally called a smart mine. Like, yeah, the Superior Spider-Man. And Scar from Hulk. So, let me look at him real quick.
No,
Oh, yeah, most
I
definitely.
don't have any feelings either way.
He's a barbaric
I think it'd
warrior
be-
Hulk.
Well, doesn't he still like get fucked and die, and that's what makes Hulk out at the end of Planet Hulk?
He
just-
doesn't know that Scar survives.
Oh,
And Scar comes
I
back to
thought
beat that
Scar
ass.
Wait. So
Oh, Scar is spelled differently than
Yeah.
how I did it.
It's like SKARR. Yeah.
Scar Hulk. Let's see. I mean, he just looks like Hulk crossed with Conan.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, do you not see the
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah,
not
that
seeing
appeals to
what I'm
me. I like both of those characters, so yes. Alright, so let's see. From Capcom, we have 2, 4, 6, and 7 with Asura.
Mm.
So that means we could fill that out and just say one of those is
DLC. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, all the characters we came up with for Capcom just make it in, if with our cuts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And from the Marvel, we have 1, 2, 3. We have Daredevil, Star-Lord, Loki, Punisher, Mandarin, Taskmaster, Quasar, Sentry, Electro, Superior, Spider-Man, and Scar for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So half of these would make it in, and the other half would have to be DLC.
I think it's time for like a revote on Marvel for the ones that we have remaining to see who we'd want to be main roster versus DLC.
Yeah. And remember, one of those, we're still counting like the first wave of DLC as main roster.
Oh, we are?
You know, because we cut Winter Soldier. Because he's DLC.
When you cut the thought.
I mean, yeah. So, let's see. So now this is main roster or DLC? Daredevil.
DLC.
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 If they had like a Netflix
Pack or
Marvel
something.
DLC
Yeah.
pack, yeah.
And that means we have more characters to talk about in a minute. Because we can start talking about them too. Star-Lord, main roster.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's
Loki.
We
I
already
think he would
have
be-
Thor in main, so he could
I
be
think-
DLC.
I think Loki would be a good season 2 DLC if they do extend the story mode, because then he would be a really interesting character to see how he would interact with the Capcom characters. Because I mean, that story was campy as fuck, but I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So DLC. Punisher.
main story.
I feel like he'd be in the Marvel DLC. I mean, not Marvel. Netflix DLC pack.
Yeah, he would.
He'd come in with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Mandarin.
Main roster. I think main roster. How do you guys think?
I would put him in the main. I mean, just so Iron Man finally has some representation beyond himself and War Machine.
I like his stance concept as like being a main character.
Taskmaster, main.
Main, yeah.
Quasar.
Not enough people know about Quasar for him not to be DLC.
DLC. Sentry.
DLC. The same problem.
DLC. Electra.
Marvel Netflix pack DLC.
Superior Spider-Man.
Main, yeah. Throw him in that roster.
Scar.
Main.
Question mark.
I'd say main. Now, here's what just happened.
Did we put too many people in DLC?
Yeah, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters in the main, and we have a bunch of DLC characters.
Well, they release DLC seasonally, right?
Yeah, so
So
we have confirmation
They
we're
could
getting
space
6.
it out throughout, like, let's say every 4 months there's like a new DLC release.
Does that mean we need to make 2 people that we made DLC not DLC?
Or we could just say, hey, let's talk about some
New
other
characters, yeah.
So, and we still have no characters on the Capcom side that would be DLC. Except Asura. I would be totally fine with Asura.
Asura DLC? That sounds like a great idea.
Has the stream been silent as far as comments go?
As far as live chat, the stream has been pretty silent, but we still have people actively watching.
Alright, so for the stream, we have completed the roster cuts. We have completed the first version of our list of additions, and we are now deciding on what slots they fill. So, let's see. Let's start talking about characters to put in. Well, we have to decide on some of these DLC characters to put in. So, there's a lot of Netflix characters.
Who we just decided would be Netflix DLC.
So, I would say we either need to add Iron Fist to this list and say he should have been main roster because he's already appeared before.
Oh, gross. He's definitely DLC.
You don't like the immortal Iron Fist,
Or
enemy of the hand, sworn protector of Kunlun?
Here's an idea.
Danny Rand?
Like, we haven't even talked about Power Man.
Yeah, I mean, he would also be on Netflix.
Oh, Luke
DLC.
Cage?
I mean,
I feel like he's
Luke-
also
Luke
DLC.
Cage.
yeah.
Why did I call him Power Man?
Because it's
This is
also his
exactly
name.
This is
Yeah.
your name, yeah.
So we would say Luke Cage is DLC.
Why did
I would say
call him
Luke
by his
Cage is
name?
DLC.
But I mean, like, what if we had one character from the Netflix just to give them a taste?
Then it would
on
probably
the
be.
roster?
It would probably be Iron Man.
It'd
'cause
probably be a...
Iron Man, Iron Fist. Because
I
he was
feel like
already,
he's a gross
well, he was already in there.
character.
You can't just call him man gross, dude.
Yes, I can. I just did. I just
Like, when I played Iron Fist, I had fun with him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I still would prefer Electra, though, which is why...
But
She's
she
also
would be
DLC.
in that-
She's
But
in
we've
that
already
same
got
DLC.
3 Netflix characters that would be DLC.
DLC, yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
want to put all of them on DLC?
I think all the Netflix people
Because
are
that would be
DLC.
2 seasons of DLC that would be Netflix. That would be the Netflix DLC.
Mm-hmm.
It's in here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we've actually filled out the main roster now.
Oh, we did?
Murder shit.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3,
Has
4,
to be
5,
right.
6. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So now we can just talk about DLC. So let me just put these DLC characters we've talked about. DLC second season DLC would be Daredevil, Punisher, and Elektra because they're Netflix.
Excuse me.
And they all are like from the same Netflix show too, which is it really works.
And Punisher's getting his too.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have nobody on the Capcom side because we did those cuts really quick. So, let's see. If Gene is in the main roster, then that's there. So we got Ross Asura in the DLC Season 2. Who else from Capcom would be... Like, all the characters we listed before have already made it into the
If
main
they
roster.
really wanted to revive like a dead franchise, they could start putting in rival schools characters.
Can you think of a Rival Schools character just for, like, a name to put on?
Kiyosuke Batsu, I think he was the main character, but he'd basically be like a schoolboy Ryu with spiked hair.
Who was the guy that they had in Capcom vs. SNK?
Kyosuke.
Kyusuke?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Kyosuke.
Kyosuke?
Yeah.
We'll just put him on there.
Didn't he all have what?
Then we need one more on the Capcom side for DLC.
A lot of people liked the Okami thing or whatever. That was from 3.
Amaterasu?
Yeah,
The
Amaterasu.
fact that we didn't even mention her.
I was thinking about her.
He didn't know her name.
Yeah,
Jeff was like, I don't want to give flavor out of her names again, so I'm
Put her
gonna
on
stay
there.
quiet.
Because they're actually trying to revive that series. Because
Oh,
they
word.
made an HD re-release for the PS4.
Well, fuck yeah, that sounds like a good option.
So that
I mean, she should have been main roster, but she's fine in DLC.
I don't think anyone's thinking really hard about Beautiful Joe. I don't think he would be DLC.
Henshin to Go-Go, baby.
Man, he's beautiful Joe, but I don't. Yeah.
So, what if we made, like, what if after the season 2 of DLC, they finally got, well, hang on, let's see how many of these DLC characters.
Vegeta's like, turn the camera, Jet. Turn the camera. Make a 360 spin. When you give that Gerard 360 spin, I got you,
All right.
fam.
So, then we're going to say Loki, Sentry, and Quasar would be the next round of Marvel DLC.
Yeah, I think it's
Loki, Sentry, and Quasar. The Broken Pack. Welcome.
I mean, yeah, why not? Or we could make Asura...
Vegeta said, damn, that
We
was
could
hot.
make Asura and Amaterasu the same season of DLC as them, and we could call it the God DLC. Because, you know, Loki, Quasar, and Sentry all have godlike powers.
Vegeta said, I'm not gonna lie.
But what third DLC character from Capcom is godlike?
Is godlike?
I mean,
My boy said, I mean. I got it. Are you ready?
godlike DLC.
Godlike.
If Gene's in the main roster, like, I know God of Hand doesn't really make him a god, but...
Well, he's half a god. Because there was a guy had double hand. And
Maybe
person
that's
that
how you
had
could
both
get
of
your
them.
Akuma.
He has killed gods.
I feel like he could be in the, like,
No,
godlike
they wouldn't.
DLC.
They wouldn't. If they were gonna go like God DLC, they wouldn't put in Akuma. They would put Oni, who is Akuma in his like truest form.
So do you feel like Oni qualifies now?
I would rather have Oni over Akuma, anyways.
So do you think he fits into the thing?
Yeah, but that would mean all three of the. Hang on, yeah. So there's that. We still need 2 more DLC from for Capcom to even out that side.
Have we gone over Resident Evil?
We did.
Outside
We
of-
had Wesker and Leon Kennedy in the main
There's
roster.
always your girl Jill.
Jill. Yeah, but how would you want her to play? Would you want her to play like MVC2 Jill or MVC3 Jill?
I do miss the flaming dabs, but her zombie gimmick was taken by Frank, but now we've voted Frank out. So,
Jill.
yeah.
I feel when you take Frank out because he's not a serious character and put in a more serious character, it's exactly Frank.
Except, you know, she like summons different types of zombies.
Now
and
when she
MVC's the
dabs,
same
she
time.
goes, so long!
So long! But, God, I can't believe I just dabbed.
You just
on
dabbed.
camera.
You dabbed
How
live.
does that make you feel?
In the year 2032, I'm going to be running for president. Somebody's going to dig up this old live stream of me dabbing and be like, see,
So
he
long.
can't be president. He was dabbing.
You just
No.
fucked up, Colin.
Nah.
I dabble in
Something
presents.
tells me I've done other things that would make me like irrelevant for president,
Irrelevant.
and then
Irrelevant.
I'll still
Just
win
a-
anyways.
Irrelevant for president.
There you go. So-
Irrelevant for President 2030.
So let's see. I'm trying to think of some other characters from Capcom that'd be really cool to put in. Like before it even gets brought up, I don't care about Tron Bond at all, and I don't think she should make it back in.
Whoa. You leave the Mega Man waifu alone.
So,
Colin.
are we full on Marvel DLC?
No, we have 3. Oh, we have exactly 3 open slots.
Exactly 3.
And that would be the 4th season of DLC. Now, if you recall telling me, Gerard, you told me that Combo Fiend said that if the game sells well enough, they could like make Fox hand them the
Yeah,
characters.
they would basically like strong arm Fox with a lot of money and be like, "Yo, give us the rights back," and Fox would be like, "Yeah, I guess."
So what if our DLC season 4 was X-Men versus Street Fighter?
Wolverine would definitely come back because
Yeah.
it's Wolverine fucking Ring.
Wolverine.
Yeah, if that's the
Wolverine,
whole
Magneto,
theme.
maybe Storm.
Wolverine, Magneto, and I think
I
it
don't
would either
think
be
Storm.
Cable.
You don't think Storm's worth?
I think it would be Wolverine, Magneto, and either Cyclops or Cable.
I see where you're coming from with Cyclops.
Cyclops.
I was thinking Colossus is another, like, brawny, strong character.
Or Juggernaut. Juggernaut was in 2, remember?
Yeah, Juggernaut was in
Forget
2.
about Colossus.
Colossus was in Deadpool. They like recently tried to like pump up Colossus.
I think that would mean that they would also have to fuck me. I think they would also have to
Good timing.
They would also have to if they were to put in Colossus to make him sell as DLC, they would also have to put in Deadpool.
Good point.
So maybe it'd be like Wolverine, Magneto, Deadpool, Colossus.
Well, that would be 4.
We only
if
have
we're,
3
like,
slots.
saying
Oh, we only have 3
season
slots.
6.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can do like no, because Francis is a shit fucking villain. I was gonna say we can do it.
Oh,
with
fuck
Deadpool.
Francis.
Yeah,
Who's
Francis was the bad guy.
Well,
Yeah,
if
we
you-
don't even know his fucking name. Let's see.
Yo, if you wanted to do a Deadpool DLC, it would be Teenage Warhead
no, they would
Colossus
do- no,
Deadpool.
That's it. The DLC season 5 would be Deadpool DLC, and it would be Deadpool, Cable, and somebody else.
Cable could work. Yeah,
'Cause,
it
I
could
mean,
be
Deadpool,
Deadpool
like,
because he'll be
yeah.
teaming up with Cable.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like let's just go
Deadpool-
ahead and call the X-Men DLC Wolverine, Magneto, and
and somebody else.
Oh, so we're not gonna do the Deadpool.
No, maybe Deadpool DLC could be like a later name.
So Wolverine, Magneto, and then do all of them have to be throwbacks? Could the last one be
No,
like
it could be
someone
any
new?
If you say somebody from X-Men Blue, I'm going to kick you out of my house.
What's next?
Why do you hate X-Men Blue so
What's
much?
next man Blue?
It's
It's
the
like-
old X-Men brought to the
Not
present.
X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold.
I don't fuck with gold.
What about
Okay, then you're fine.
Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler.
For,
Fuck
like,
yes. Why have I
teleporting?
not
He could
said
be-
something about that?
yeah.
Night fucking crawler.
Excalibur Nightcrawler though.
He could-
Give that nigga a sword.
Last thing you
Yes.
just said.
Nightcrawler. Yes.
He was the leader of
I
like
can't believe I
a
haven't
space
said
pirate
anything
team
about it.
called Excalibur or whatever, and he had a blade.
Yeah, because he could have like.
Teleporting sword combat could be.
Plus, he's a Christian and he went to heaven, and then he was like, "Hey God, my friends need my help. Can I leave?" And it's like, "Why have you not left before? You can just teleport out of heaven." And then he just teleported out of heaven. It was so fucking cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed that film.
I enjoyed it very much. It was great. It was hilarious because it was like God was just like, "I can't stop you, dude." It's like, wow, God can't stop Nightcrawler. That's hilarious.
When Gerard
that's
said,
hilarious, Marvel.
"Feet."
That's hilarious, Marvel. Like, you just keep taking pot shots at the Christian God. Go for it, man. I mean, that's the majority of their audience, I think, but whatever.
When you feel like it, look through this and let me know what you think.
Alright.
Those are things I want to add to the
So that's
dinosaur deck.
that's all the Marvel DLC. We still need 4 people for Capcom, and, like, the second season of DLC includes Jill from
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil and Kyosuke from Rival Schools. So what other, like,
Is it the
fringy-
clusterfuck pack?
I mean, no, it would be like
The bitch you thought pack?
it would be the
You
fringy
thought we
cha-
got rid of Haggard?
It'd be the fringy characters you have.
However, now that I think about it, and I didn't even think about him like as a Street Fighter character. Cody Travers was like the only Final Fight character that people fucking cared about.
I can't believe I forgot about Cody.
I think Cody would get some definite downloads.
Plus, that'd be a much better representation from Final Fight, and he has
I
a
bet
really cool
Cody's the
character.
kind of man that Vegeta likes.
And he has a really cool character arc, as far as like going to jail because he just feels like being the good guy is too hard.
Can you hit me up with that Vegeta wink?
We cannot go with that thing.
Okay,
Spur of the
so
moment.
if we did an X-Men versus Street Fighter DLC pack, what 3 characters from X-Men would make it in? I think not from X-Men, from Street Fighter. I think Q and Gil would be at least 2 of them.
Who? Q, yeah.
Q and Gil.
It would be such a fuckboy move to put Q into a not Street Fighter game before you put him back in Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's why Capcom
want
would
Q.
do it.
So many people want Q in Street Fighter, and Capcom was like, nah, who? Q? We're gonna put in Urian. We're gonna put in Colin. Who's Colin? It doesn't fucking matter. It's not Q. No, that would be such a bad move.
Thick waifu with ice.
That would be such a bad move on Capcom's part.
I wouldn't care. I'd get it.
Makoto would be fun. Oh, we have so many martial arts characters, so Makoto's Makoto.
No Makoto.
But she's such a waifu.
No. So, like, if we were to put in Charlie Nash, would we put in his Charlie version or his Nash version?
Nash is boring.
Mr. I have forsaken God because I am now
We
a
need
zombie.
Jury. Yeah, give me some of that.
Jerry Han?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Korean waifu.
She can break my back anytime.
I've already made that joke before. There was a Facebook page I was following that said, take a screenshot of your
phone background and post it here, and it was Yuri, and I was like, oh, well, that's great, but she could break my back. So, what other Street Fighter character? Now we've already put we've already like redacted M Bison and Cammy onto the list.
There's a lot of characters. I mean,
oh fuck yeah, there's a lot of characters.
Zangief. We don't have a lot of dedicated grapplers.
But if we were gonna put in a grappler, I'd have Alex over Zangief.
I would actually not think about it. Abel from Street Fighter 4. He was really fun.
Was he a grappler too?
Yeah, he was like a combat grappler. Like he had like regular, melee attacks. And he also had grapple options. He was kind of well rounded in that regard. I'm trying to think of those. I think Urian has enough hype in Street Fighter 5 that he could probably get put in. Please stop following me, Jet. This is creepy.
I was doing like dynamic shots. I did one that was like
it's
over Colin's shoulder, and then the
Yeah.
other one's like, yeah. You gotta think of it from the camera perspective. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Your boy was like, stop stalking me, please.
Yeah. Don't talk to me or my hair ever again.
I don't care about this. Your cinematography. Boom, boom. But I do think Urian's like whole panel thing is interesting.
Yeah,
Imagine that and Space Stone.
Oh my god. You get stuck in the space stone and then the fucking angle reflector just takes you in the face, yeah?
Or like he brings the reflector in front of you and then pulls you forward with Space Stone.
Yeah, that would be. I'm really surprised that you're like Urian in context. Do you watch a lot of Street Fighter 5 gameplay?
My boy Dylan was like, I can't wait until Urian's in Street Fighter 5.
And then
like
you were like, why? And then he was like, yeah. Yeah, he's a really popular character. Maybe Balrog, because he's super popular, especially in America.
I'm now super down with Urian after we like talked about how he'd work with a stone.
Uh-huh.
Because that's one of the big things that they keep pushing with each character thing is like, and here's what their stone
Work really
is.
well with this stone.
Mm-hmm. He would make Space Stone his bitch.
Did we redact? No, we didn't. No,
What
we
were you about to
didn't.
say, Colin?
I'm trying to like compile what we've done for those so far.
Frozen.
Mandarin, Scar.
Ruined.
Ruined. What is in that?
This like
Oh, Iron Fist.
smoothie health juice thing.
Is it kale?
No, but there is a kale flavor.
Alright. So we're gonna say we're gonna put in Urian for that?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of like a pseudo grappler kind of deal. Alright, so we have a completed list here. So, from Capcom, we would have Strider, Arthur, Gene from God Hand, Chris Redfield, Mega Man X, Zero, Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil, Dante, Ryu, Cammy from Street Fighter, Bison from Street Fighter, Morrigan, Wesker from Resident Evil, Jeddah, Dimitri from Darkstalkers on the main roster. And then on the Marvel side, we would have Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, Taskmaster, Ultron, Gamora, Superior Spider-Man rather than regular Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thanos, Mandarin, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Thor, Captain America, Dormammu, Scar, Son of Hulk, Venom, Black Panther, and Iron Fist would be the DLC character we'd replace with. And then we'd have Sigma, Monster Hunter, and a freebie. We never talked about the freebie. Oh, right, because the freebie's actually Gil.
The freebie would be Tron Bond.
No, it's Gil. And then we would have Gil and Urian, and they could have like really cool quips because they're brothers. Then for
Nani?
DLC Season 2 would be
Colin? I've discovered an error with your apartment.
which is?
There's no way to open the window.
Oh shit, there is not. Why would you need to open the window?
I'm about to cook one of these steaks. And
They're really steamy.
Oh, okay.
So our DLC 2 would be Marvel's Netflix versus Capcom. You haven't heard of these characters before. So that would be from
Marvel's Defenders versus Capcom's fucking
whatevers.
Second raters.
Capcom's whatevers.
What is it Bakugo cost people? Extras?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that would be.
Can I reference Bakugo on stream?
Yeah, you're perfectly fine with
I
that.
don't get copyrighted by fucking Trump.
Oh, we are running low on time though.
We're almost done.
Due to phone battery.
Oh, okay.
Not due to anything else.
Well, we're almost done here. So the Season 2 DLC would be Capcom's Whatevers versus Marvel's Defenders. So that would be Jill from Resident Evil, Kyosuke from Rival Schools, Cody from Final Fight, Daredevil from Marvel, Punisher from Marvel, and Elektra from Daredevil. Our DLC Season 3 would be Capcom Gods versus Marvel Gods. So that would be Asura from Asura's Wrath, Amaterasu from Okami, Oni from Street Fighter, who is basically just a powered up version of Akuma, Loki from Thor, Quasar, who I assume is his own thing,
Yeah, he's from Quasar.
and Sentry, who I also assume is his own thing.
Yeah, Sentry's from Sentry.
Okay. And then our DLC Season 4 would be the, oh my god, I can't believe Fox let us put X-Men in here, or as you could alternatively call it, X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be
X-Men versus Street Fighter 2.
Q from Street Fighter, Jury from Street Fighter, Urian from Street Fighter, Wolverine from the X-Men, Magneto from the X-Men, and Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Nightcrawler, Excalibur.
Excalibur, true.
Excalibur.
Excalibur one. Yeah, give him that blade.
So, assuming that we were to do a DLC Season 5, that would be Deadpool versus something. That would be Deadpool, Cable, and who did you say else?
Either like Colossus or Megasonic Teenage Warhead or.
Both of those characters are awful. Give me.
Is it even Mega?
Damn.
I think it's Mega, right? It's Megasonic. It's not actually the word Mega.
I'm trying to think of some other characters that Deadpool has associated himself
Francis.
with. No. I don't even know who
he
the
has
fuck
a
that
high
is.
pain threshold.
I mean,
that's the superpower.
We're not gonna do.
Superpower.
He has a high pain threshold, Colin.
We're not gonna do one of the dumb Deadpool characters, right? We're not gonna be like
I mean, if
Lady
you wanna
Deadpool.
Look into the comments. There's Black Swan.
Well, hang on. If
It
Cable's
was like
been
one of
involved in
Deadpool's
this, we could just put
main,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse?
Fuck yeah, that'd be great. Apocalypse.
I don't think
Just Cable.
Apocalypse has much to do with Deadpool.
No,
he does
it
have to
has
do
a
with
lot to do with
Cable.
If anything, you would put in like.
You'd want another
you
Deadpool-based
put
character.
Apocalypse in like the God package, I would say.
That does sound more like a God
Yeah.
Pack character.
But yeah, Black Swan is a really big Deadpool villain. He once successfully like.
Oh, I think I know what you're
invaded
talking
Deadpool's
about.
mind.
But what does he
And
do?
then he went psychic powers, mind
Wait,
manipulation.
what did?
How do you interpret that like into game?
Wait a second. Deadpool is actually married right now to the goddess of death. What is her name?
Death?
Death
No,
would be
no,
really
no,
relevant
It's not
story-wise.
even Death. It's a different girl. She's like actually really hot.
Another Death?
I think I know who
Like,
you're
she's
talking
the goddess
about.
of death. She is not the persona.
The Egyptian one? No.
How would she play?
Okay.
I don't know. Death.
Man, what the?
Lifesteal.
She. Oh, so
that's
Soul
the
Stone.
Matrix thing.
Oh my gosh.
Well, then there we go. You would have a lifesteal from Capcom and a lifesteal from there.
Redundant Soul Stone.
What is her name? I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. Like every time I see her, it's like I love her so much because she's gorgeous, and then I forget her name.
And then you forget her name.
Probably because she's gorgeous.
Just calling things.
Is married to.
Hey, Colin,
Yeah,
would you terribly mind if I finish these mushrooms off?
go right ahead.
Oh, they're
okay.
mushrooms.
No, her name is Shikla, and she
Okay.
actually just divorced Deadpool and is now married to Dracula. Fuck Dracula.
Damn.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Deadpool with the hardcore cook.
It's like I love Dracula. Oh,
What if
that's
we
it,
threw in
could put
Dracula? Yeah, I was about to say.
It's like fuck yeah, and then it could be like Dimitri versus Dracula. So there we go.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But then who would Deadpool fight on the Capcom side? Because I don't think Shikla has much in the way of fighting beyond just she's the queen of the undead.
She would summon zombies, but we put Jill in.
We already have that, and then she
Yeah.
could just like. Let's just face it. If we could just do anything we wanted with this roster, it would be so fucking badass. But
Hey, Colin, is this asparagus?
I don't know. It's not
See
mine.
this? I think it's asparagus, and if it is, it needs to eat this shit soon. Are these chilies?
Duran, I'm not gonna force you to make extra for me, but can I have a little bit of that, like a taste of that meat when you make it?
Sure.
There you go. So, I mean, let's just ultimately say that if you want to like make a real quick focus on that list, just for the end of it, so people can look at it.
Got the RPs. These need to be eaten soon. Going brown.
You say that about a lot of stuff that CJ has.
The broccoli's not enough.
mean, I think we actually made a really cool list.
I like
competitively.
it. What do you think, Gerard?
I think this is cool. I think we've all. It's not just like one person with a lot of ideas. I think we've all had really different ideas.
Plus, I mean, if they ever actually let X-Men back in, it'd be really fucking cool to have
Also,
what we just
Colin.
listed off.
You're gonna want to get some more chops soon. These are starting to build.
Well, I've got to get some. Well, I probably won't get any more this weekend because I'm going to be gone all week.
But when you get back, yeah.
So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. Favorite, comment, subscribe. What do you think of our roster? Make sure to post in the comment section below. Have a wonderful night. This is Colin, Gerard, aka Bangzel. Vanessa Brooks said, love the list. Aw, thank you kindly. And your boy, Jet Black, logging out.
Hang on.
Mhm.
Fox, give us X-Men back. Now you're good.
Peace.